Friday, October 31st, 2025. On the bold and the beautiful, Will and Electra persevered in the face of everything, as Deke got ready to present Remy to his co-workers. Will and Electra were working hard at the start of the episode. Put differently, making out. She was excited to meet Deke's beau during the celebration of his new role. Hope and Deacon were simultaneously expressing how excited they were about the possibility of meeting the mystery man. Dad questioned, "Why is he a mystery?" Deke jokingly stated that he didn't want to show him around so that everyone could judge him. At least not until today. A hint of perfume, as usual, hinted at the arrival of Katie, Ivy, and Daphne, who soon joined Will and Electra. Electra was the type of person who is only ever content before a horrible event occurs. She claimed that because she felt such a strong connection to Deke, she was confident that his boyfriend would also be beautiful. Deacon bowed out to work in the main office. Deke and Hope tried again to convince him out of staying with Sheila before he could flee. Deacon remarked, "That may or may not happen. Gimme a little peace in the interim. Is all this stuff with Luna too much to handle?" Ivy asked Electra in the showroom, noting that she and Will appeared to be more in love than ever. Ivy thought Will was a great guy, but he had disappointed Electra. If Luna weren't pregnant, things would be different, but she isn't leaving. Electra would not be persuaded in any case. "Just like he was when Remy was frightening me, Will is here for me," she remarked. Why would Remy visit Luna while she was incarcerated? She boasted about Electra's response when she found out she was expecting a child via Will. However, after what he had done to Electra in the past, Remy felt sorry for her. However, he was ecstatic about Deacon Sharp's amazing son. He was really excited about meeting Deke's work family that day. Even Luna thought, "WH about that." She reminded Remy that they all despise you. Additionally, it says a lot when Loco Luna says that a concept is absurd. Remy stated, "I know it's going to be tough, but he wasn't afraid because the Forresters are too sophisticated to give him a hard time." Remy continued by explaining that he had created Electra's fictitious nude photos in order to maintain her reliance on him. He now intended to tell his victim about the difficult period in his life and ask for her forgiveness. Was Deke aware of the pictures? Well, he was going to buddy. Remy, who proved to be just as delulu as Luna, envisioned a time when he may be able to leave his stamp on fashion. Later on, he would return to cover for Luna. Despite his assurance to Deke that he would no longer interact with her, These children are insane. Remy went to Forrester despite Luna's pleas for him to keep Deke from revealing him as his beau. "I'm sure we're all gonna really like this guy," Electra remarked, setting the stage for catastrophe. Meanwhile, Luna was talking to herself in the jail visitors' room. Remy and Deke had their first conversation by themselves when they got to Forrester. Remy seems ecstatic for the occasion, and even dreamed of collaborating with his partner on HFTF in the future. Deke stated that he was very eager for Remy to meet Electra. How in the world did Remy fail to prepare Deke for the response he was about to receive? Electra was horrified when Remy entered the showroom. Evie gave a gasp, and Will seems prepared to strike out against his girlfriend's abuser once more. Projects, her eyes constantly darting toward the door, eager to meet the man who'd captured Deke's heart. Even Will, usually the calm center of chaos, smiled and said that he was happy for his friend. Hope arrived just in time to join the crowd as Deke entered, a proud smile lighting his face. "Everyone," he began, "I want you to meet the man who's made me believe in love again." He turned toward the door, and as Remy stepped in, the air shifted. Silence fell like a curtain. Electra's face went pale. Her body went rigid as every muscle remembered the terror he'd once inflicted on her. Ivy gasped audibly, and Katie's jaw dropped. Hope blinked, trying to process what she was seeing, while Will's entire expression hardened, his fists curling instinctively at his sides. Deke, oblivious to the emotional shrapnel flying through the room, smiled broadly, proud to show off his new partner. "Everyone," he said warmly. "This is Remy." For a moment no one breathed. The man who'd blackmailed, humiliated, and psychologically tormented Elektra now stood there with the same confident smirk that once haunted her nightmares. Elektra staggered back, Will catching her just before she fell, his fury radiating off him in waves. "You," Will spat, stepping forward, but Elektra gripped his arm, whispering, "Don't. Not here." Deke turned in confusion, his face twisting as realization began to dawn. Hope, recognizing Remy from the chaos months earlier, covered her mouth, shaking her head. Ivy whispered to Katie, "Oh my God, it's him." Remy, trying to salvage the moment, stammered, "I didn't know, I swear. I didn't realize Elektra worked here again." But no one believed him. Deke's eyes widened in betrayal, the color draining from his face as he realized the magnitude of the mistake he'd made. "You knew," he whispered, voice trembling. Remy shook his head desperately, trying to explain, but the damage was done. Elektra's tears broke through, her voice trembling as she said, "You ruined my life, Remy. You don't get to ruin it again." The room felt like it could collapse under the weight of tension, with everyone frozen between disbelief and anger. Deke backed away, his entire body shaking, muttering that he couldn't believe he had been so blind. Hope rushed to his side, whispering that it wasn't his fault, but Deke couldn't hear her. His heart and his pride were shattered. Will finally stepped between Elektra and Remy, his protective instinct fully engaged, and growled, "Get out before I make you." Remy, realizing there was no way back from this, turned toward Deke one last time, pleading, "Please just listen." But Deke's face had gone cold. "You lied to me," Deke said quietly, his voice steady now but his eyes filled with pain. "You said you wanted to start fresh, and this is what you bring into my life." When security arrived, Remy finally left, casting one last look at Elektra, a look that was equal parts regret and resentment. The room stayed still for a long time after he was gone, broken only by Elektra's sobs and Deke's hollow silence. Later, after everyone had dispersed, Deke sat alone in the showroom, staring at the spot where Remy had stood, his dreams unraveling like a frayed seam. Hope returned quietly, placing a hand on his shoulder, whispering that tomorrow would bring clarity. Deke shook his head. "No," he said, voice rough. "Tomorrow will bring consequences." Outside, the night was eerily calm, but inside Forrester, the emotional fallout had only just begun. And as the camera panned out, the lingering sound of Elektra's sobs echoed through the empty halls, marking an ending no one had expected and a beginning no one was ready for.